It's one of board gaming's great philosophical questions. When does it stop being a game and start being a puzzle? We discuss after this. Hi, it's Tarrant.
And Stella from Meeple University. Welcome back to our Tabletop Diary. So, in this episode, we talk about game, puzzle, same, different, and so on. I just talk in bullet points here.
Yep.
So, Tarrant, what made you think about this? And then, what is a game, what is a puzzle, and what are the games that is a puzzle? Maybe not.
Yeah, I think all games have an element of puzzle.
Yeah.
Well, most games. Maybe if it's more of a role play thematic, less puzzly, but certainly most of the games we play have a deep element of puzzle. But
Are we t-shirt coordinate?
Jaguars, tigers.
And stripe here. Anyways,
We do have the stripes.
I'm distracting Tarrant. He's sorry, keep
Different
going.
teams,
Yes.
though.
Yes.
Where was I?
The game.
The game. So I think all games have an element of puzzle.
Yes.
But what brought this question to my mind was when we played CO2, Second Chance. And it's a co-op game, and you have almost all the information at the start of the game.
Not the fossil power. Not the seminar.
There's a couple of things.
Yeah.
You're technically not meant to know each other's cards, although because it was our first play, we didn't adhere to that.
Yes.
Even so, I think it would be difficult to strategize without revealing some sort of information or being able to sort of infer it pretty easily. There was what concentration of fossil fuel plant came out of the deck.
It's between 20
Between
to
20
40,
and 40.
20, 30, 40.
It's hidden information, but it's not... You wouldn't change your strategy based on what's coming out. You still do the same thing, you just want to avoid them.
Okay.
The only time it matters is once you get to stage 4, it tells you where you want to overbuild plants to get rid of one of them. And you can kind of pivot on that during the game.
Yes.
So what you see after round 1 pretty much tells you what to do in round 2. So that's almost perfect information.
So what's the definition of a puzzle rather than a game then?
So
What's a game, what's a puzzle, according to you?
yeah, so I think like when we were playing CO2, because all the information was there, we could kind of map out every turn from the start almost. And the game couldn't really do anything to us. It couldn't fight back. It didn't have anything... There was no mechanism that made the game fight back. And so I felt like we were collaborating on a big Sudoku with game mechanics, rather than competing against the game. And it was the first time I'd really felt that playing a game. Doesn't mean it wasn't a good time, but it felt
More puzzly than...
Yeah, it felt like
gamey.
one big puzzle. And
What puzzle?
it still had the game mechanics, and if we had, we could have played it without communicating and gone through the actions and sort of played it in a more gamey way, because then you would have had the uncertainties of each other. But the way we were doing it with full communication and seeing each other's cards...
Maybe that's what we did wrong, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't always see each other's card. The other action cards are kind of like hidden as well.
Well... Yeah, but at the same time I was saying, I've got the card to do this action, let me do this one.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. So maybe that's why, but still, beside that, if we still hide some information, is that a puzzle? Or is it less of a puzzle?
Yeah. I think they're all puzzles.
Yeah.
I think the question is, does it stop being a game? And I was comparing it to Pandemic. And we've played through season 1. We've played various other games of it. There's a very mathematical puzzle element to that, because at any given point in time, you know what cards are in the top section of the deck if you've had an epidemic. You can work out what is worst and what is best and what is most likely. And you can basically do like a full risk matrix and determine the optimal move.
Very mathy.
Which is very mathy and very puzzly. But at the same time, you don't know what the game's going to throw at you. It might do something else.
So does that mean that it's still a game? That uncertainty, that luck base, is that make a puzzle more like a game?
I think it still feels like a game because you've got the board acting as an opponent and
it
disrupting
escalates.
you. Yeah.
So bad.
Because even in a multiplayer game, if it's a worker placement game, I can look at what you've got on the board. I can work out how likely it is that you're going to take the spot I want and whether I have to go in there. So I'm doing the same process. I'm risk matrixing everything out based on what I've got and then making the optimal choice and trying to fit together a sequence that's going to meet my objectives in a puzzle way. That's all the same. It's still got that heavily puzzle element. It's very much a game because we're both trying to fight for those advantages, and I don't know what you're going to do. I think that's the thing that made CO2 feel very different for me, is that the game didn't have anything that it could do to me. I didn't have to pivot my strategy based on what happened. I could work it all out from the start.
So that means that the escape room type, is that a puzzle?
They're very much puzzles.
That's basically puzzle.
And I think in those cases, they don't really have a game mechanic. Sometimes there's a game mechanic thrown in. I guess you look at games like the adventure games, things like that. The second choose your own adventure.
That's right, yeah.
Adventure. They have this little game mechanic in there, but it is fundamentally puzzle.
Yes. So what do you think? What do you think in where a game starts becoming a puzzle, stop becoming a game and a puzzle? Have you experienced it? Have you played CO2? Have you played a game that you think is more of a puzzle than a game? Can you please write in the comment section below? Because we want to know, maybe we want to have a look into it. Again, it doesn't mean that we don't like the puzzle. It just means that it's a game of a puzzle. Like, is Rubik's Cube a puzzle? Yes, it is.
It's a puzzle definition until it becomes an algorithm. Yeah.
Well, it's basically, that's like a puzzle is like information's out there, you try to solve it, and you just like work your way to solve it. Yeah. While a game is like not on information's out there, there's maybe a bit of escalation, uncertainty, bit of a luck base, push your luck and so on.
And then you get to something, going to a well-known game, Dominion. Yeah. And let's specifically think Dominion where there are no attack cards. So when you get in that situation, it's almost multiplayer solitaire.
Right, yeah.
And a major part of your game is looking at what's going to score the most points and then trying to run that strategy.
That's true.
And really the only interaction in a case like that is how quickly is someone chasing the end of the game, and do you have to go fast or slow to meet that? It still feels like
a combo, a broken combo.
Yeah. It still feels like a game, and maybe it's just because it's turn-based. But other than the fact that someone's action terminates the end of the game, you could go to different rooms, set the cards up in front of yourself, and play for like a set number of turns and see who scored the most.
Oh, yeah.
And then that would just be side-by-side puzzles almost. I think I would I mean, it always feels like a puzzle when you don't have other people sitting across from you. But
what come across mine, this is not a puzzle. Spirit Island, a cooperative games that we like to play. It's probably a little bit like Pandemic. The game can throw stuff at you, like depending on the cards that you reveal, like which one that the explorer is going to build, which ones they're gonna explore explorer's going to explore. Yeah, you know what I mean? But there's a lot of thinking, like a lot of puzzle involved as well.
There's a lot of puzzle in that one. I was reflecting on that because you don't have perfect information, but you have a lot of the information, and when the explorers pop out,
that's where you start thinking about the puzzle bit. Okay, what you're going to do next in the next few turns. Yeah,
it's almost what the game's throwing at me is I've got a couple of turns to react. It doesn't have that immediacy that Pandemic has. Maybe that's why I feel like Pandemic's more of a game, because the game can just go, blah, outbreak.
No. Yeah.
It can hit you immediately. Spirit Island hits you slowly because you've always got 2 turns to prepare for the ravaging when the explorers pop out. And so I think it fits somewhere between those two, because I think you do have... the game doesn't feel like it's taking turns to mess me up.
Yeah.
It feels like it's setting in motion the puzzle that I have to solve. So maybe that's... I think it's halfway between. I still find it... I'd still call it a game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's not a game.
Very good one. We should play with other different powers as well. The estimating, it's so good.
That's true. There are more immediate... there is more immediate danger. We've mostly played base, so there is some more immediate danger that comes with the
other powers.
The other ones,
So that's it. If you have anything else to say, write in the comment sections below. We'll check the games out. We'll get back to you. And if you enjoy our discussion, if you like this video, as usual, please hit the like button. It will help us. And if you haven't subscribed to us, please consider subscribing to our channel. Hit the Meeple in the corner as well, and hit the bell so you won't miss anything from us. I also share my board games journey on Instagram, so hopefully I will see you there too. Until next time, bye.